Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 474. Arriving at the Supreme Purity Palace. The vast desert stretched endlessly, yellow sand swirling into the sky. Under the setting sun, the boundless desert seemed dyed in a layer of blood. Strange mountains and towering rocks stood tall and imposing. This was the star-severing mountain range, renowned throughout the entire star field. Every day, lofty peaks sprawled across the land like giant dragons, stretching for tens of thousands of miles. No one knew where they led. Swoosh! A ray of light suddenly appeared on the distant horizon. It swiftly approached, revealing itself to be Xiaoyan. With his experience, Xiaoyan naturally knew how to use the least amount of origin ki to maximize his speed. Even so, after dozens of days of non-stop travel, he felt a deep weariness settling in. That is, Profound Yin Castle. Spotting a fortress below, Xiaoyan's eyes lit up. He instantly recognized it. It was in Profound Yin Castle that he had met Jade Fairy and experienced many events. He had also obtained the Yin Scrolls and secret arts from her. Although he had only mastered a fraction of these arts so far, their power was undeniable. It could be said that Xiaoyan had truly mastered these secret arts. Hong Long. Xiaoyan nodded slightly at the sight of Profound Yin Castle, memories flooding back. Yin Kang, Yin Juxuan, and the others from the Profound Yin sect were still fresh in his mind. Without hesitation, Xiaoyan flew over Profound Yin Castle. He did not want to complicate matters. His only goal was to reach the Xiao clan as soon as possible. Along the way, many familiar places passed by. Xiaoyan's heart swelled with excitement. When he had first come here, his strength was only at the monic spirit level. Now, just 2 or 3 years later, he had reached the Monic Emperor realm. In this vast world, he finally had the power to protect himself. About 2 days later, the origin ki in Xiaoyan's body was nearly exhausted. In the distance, he spotted a fortress, an oasis in the desert, extremely eye-catching. Black Sand Castle. After landing some distance away, Xiaoyan looked at the huge fortress crouching like a giant beast in the distance. An unusual glint flashed in his eyes. The first fortress he had entered after being teleported to the star-severing mountain range was precisely Black Sand Castle. Nearly all the experts in Black Sand Castle had fallen in the tomb of that Emperor cultivation expert. He wondered what chaos had since befallen the place. As he pondered, Xiaoyan strode toward Black Sand Castle. A tall arrow tower stood guard, with several fierce-looking men stationed on top. Below, a few soldiers patrolled lazily, clad in tattered armor as they leaned against the tower. Seeing Xiaoyan approach, a tall, thin man chuckled lightly. He adjusted his ragged armor and swaggered forward, blocking Xiaoyan's path. He eyed Xiaoyan's plain attire and asked in a rough voice, "Where did you come from?" The man had several scars on his face and exuded a fierce aura. Capital of Chaos. Xiaoyan had no patience for such people. He answered lightly and made to step past him into the castle. Capital of Chaos. Star-severing mountain range. Is there such a place? Kid, you've got some nerve. Hearing this, the other soldiers stepped forward, blocking Xiaoyan's way. One of them spoke in a mocking tone. Before his voice faded, Xiaoyan threw a punch expressionlessly. The man was sent flying without any chance to resist, landing heavily on the distant arrow tower. He spat out a mouthful of blood and fainted. Everyone was stunned by Xiaoyan's sudden strike. These were people who had survived bloody battles, and they knew better than to provoke someone clearly stronger than them. No one dared step forward. Hey, seeing their hesitation, Xiaoyan smiled and walked into the castle. Sometimes, only greater ruthlessness could shock such people into submission. Black Sand Castle was the only gathering point within 100 miles. Though not as bustling as a typical city, it was still quite lively. A familiar feeling washed over him as he entered, as if a lifetime had passed. Xiaoyan did not linger long in Black Sand Castle. He found a guest room to recover his strength and then left, rushing toward the Xiao clan with all his might. Yunlo Academy. On the third day after Xiaoyan's departure, Yunlo Academy held a grand ceremony. Leaders of all major powers in the capital of chaos attended the event in the Academy's outer court. On Yunlo Academy's side, not only did Elder Xiao and Su Jiang appear, but Elder Qi Bai also attended. Once everyone had settled, a divine message descended from the heavens, appearing in the minds of all leaders across the star field, announcing the results of the 4 academies' competition. Yunlo Academy had taken first place. Upon learning this result, all the experts in the capital of chaos were stunned. They had never expected this small academy, which they had looked down upon, to achieve such a shocking result in the 4 academies' competition. Within a day, the name of Yunlo Academy spread throughout the entire star domain. The divine message did not detail the final battle of the competition, so naturally, no one knew about Yavmu. With this ceremony, Yunlo Academy once again signaled its true strength to the outside world. This was the might of one of the 4 great academies of the star field. Xiaoyan was unaware of these events at Yunlo Academy. After nearly half a month of travel, he finally emerged from the star-severing mountain range and entered the prefecture. With the help of transportation arrays in each prefecture, his speed increased significantly. The prefecture adjacent to Taiching Mansion was called Pingyang Palace. Although it was on the same level as Taiching Mansion, the latter seemed more like a small prefecture guarding it. Whether in terms of prosperity or resources, Pingyang Palace was far inferior to Taiching Mansion. A transportation array sent Xiaoyan from Pingyang Palace. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself in a grand hall. Dozens of armored soldiers patrolled the center of the hall, their unconsciously emitted auras ensuring no one dared cause trouble. Having seen the magnificence of the Xiao clan before, Xiaoyan was not surprised by the scene. He slowly walked out of the hall in line with others. Raising his head, he saw countless pavilions and towers rising from the ground, a majestic sight that fully displayed the unparalleled capabilities of the Xiao clan. Xiaoyan had no interest in admiring these splendid structures. He immediately rushed toward the transportation array at the city center. When he first arrived in Yuanyi City, Xiao Hao and Xiao Ling had led him to the great elder's residence. Now, however, he had to find his own way. In this unfamiliar city, Xiaoyan ran for a long time. After asking many people, he finally reached the central square. Hundreds of transportation arrays covered the square. The crowd was dense and bustling, startling Xiaoyan. This was a display of immense wealth. Faced with so many transportation arrays, Xiaoyan stood stunned, unsure which one led to Xiao City. Just as he was in a daze, a clear, questioning voice sounded behind him. Xiaoyan turned and saw a pretty girl in a red outfit standing with her hands behind her back. Her large eyes blinked curiously as she looked at him. Chapter end. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.